Don't let these months fly by you. There is still time to get in that summer trip. And let's be real, we might want to add the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to our list. The Cleveland Museum is home of all things rock and roll, and that's an expansive definition, y'all. The new SNL exhibit also brings you up close to artifacts from musical sketches like the cowbell, or maybe the glasses from Run DMC, or the dress from Sabrina Carpenter, and so much more. Check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to learn more about the music that connects us all. More info is at rockhall.com/exhibitions/SNL 50 Years Music. Today on CityCast Chicago, local style chips are a homegrown snack you can find across the city, paying homage to classic Chicago foods like giardiniera, the Italian beef, deep dish pizza, and the Chicago dog. But do they taste like them, and are they actually any good? Well, we had the same question earlier this year, so we headed out to get some hopefully tasty answers. It's Wednesday, August 13th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago is talking about. I got a favor to ask. CityCast is doing our annual listener survey, and it will really help us if you took it. Yes, all the CityCast: Salt Lake, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly, Nashville, Madison, Vegas, Houston, Denver, DC, Chicago, Boise, Austin. We all love hearing from our listeners, and this provides us with more in-depth information about what works, what you like, who are you, where you from. Even if you took it last year, we will be grateful if you took it again. Things change, and we want to stay up to date. And when you take the survey, you also going to be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and some CityCast merch. You can take it now at citycast.fm/survey. Please, please, please head over to citycast.fm/survey to take the survey. It's only 7 minutes long. We timed it. All right, let's jump into some chips. I'm here in the West Loop with the CityCast Chicago team, including producer Michelle Navarro. And we're also joined with Laura Gardner, the founder of Local Style Chips. Laura, welcome to CityCast Chicago.
Thank you for having me.
So Chicago has been called the snack capital of the world at different points over its history. What is your relationship to Chicago snacks? Did you grow up like thinking about your local candy store? Could you always be caught with a bag of chips? Tell me that story.
So what's interesting, I love snacks. I'm a snacker. And, relating to like Chicago snacks, a lot of my inspiration for local style came from traveling outside of Chicago. So traveling around to different countries. So when you go to different countries, they have the most amazing signature flavors on potato chips. So I remember I went on my honeymoon in Japan and we were eating Kobe beef chips in Japan. I remember traveling to Vietnam, eating it was a spicy squid flavored chip, which is wild. And I love trying all these flavors. UK, like fish and chips. And these flavors just were so fun. They were so local to that country and that cuisine. And it got my mind moving. Chicago has the best food in the world. Mm-hmm. Why don't we have this on a chip?
So did you feel like sour cream and onion, salt and pepper, barbecue, was that just too generic from city to city, state to state, and you thought it needed a little bit more individuality?
You walk down the potato chip aisle and honestly, it's kind of boring. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of brands putting out the exact same flavors. It's a lot of packaging that just, personally didn't really speak to me. It didn't say party. It didn't say bring your friends together. And it certainly wasn't really heroing local cuisine. That was not what I was seeing. And so being a proud Chicagoan, local style was really how do we put the soul of a city into a bag of chips? How do we put city pride, which is all about food in this city? There's no city that loves food more, that it's our identity, it's who we are, it's what we fight about. That's what we were trying to do with local style chips.
We did 1,000 things we love about Chicago. Our biggest category was food with, I think, close to 160. And so we know Chicago has so many different flavors. How big was your original list in terms of ideas of what different things you could do as a flavor for Chicago foods? A Mr. Sub, a pizza puff, a sweet steak. How big was that initial list? And how did you whittle it down to deep dish, hot dog, and Italian beef?
There were so many different ways we thought about approaching this. But I think one thing that was that just rised above the rest is the deep dish pizza, the Italian beef, and the Chicago style hot dog. Like that is the holy trinity of Chicago food when you really boil it down. And there's a whole ripple outward of amazing flavors. And so we went with deep dish, we went with hot dog, and we went with Italian beef. And of course, we didn't forget about our classic salted people. We have our classic salted flavor.
All right, so how do you take those flavors and put them into a bag? Like I think deep dish, for example, I can imagine that cheesy flavor, but like the hot dog, how are you capturing tomato and celery salt and pickle and sport pepper?
We were really specific about each of the flavor profiles that we wanted to put in. And for hot dog, like you hit them, Jacoby. We're talking dill pickle. We're talking tomato. We're talking relish. We're talking mustard. We're talking sport pepper. We're talking celery salt. And so really it comes down to like a powderized version. Like you have a spice cabinet at home. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you know how you got like, thyme and oregano and mustard powder
Trader
and
Joe's 21 seasoning salt.
Perfect. So that's the
Green
idea
Goddess.
is you powderize all these awesome foods and then you start blending and then you start thinking what is the right blend. So it took about 12 iterations on these spice blends because we were trying to not just capture pizza, but like butter crust and like oregano with a sprinkle of parm, these very specific Chicago flavors to how we do the food and the origin of how we make it. And I think we did pretty good. You'll tell us, we'll taste together. But the other piece of this is like, yes, we wanted to match and mirror Chicago's best foods, but we also just really wanted to make like a really delicious chip. So the bar was pretty high where we were like, is this a snack that we are like craving? Like we want to go back into the bag. We thought a lot about the actual base, the actual potato chip base. There's nothing that beats like the bold crunch of a kettle chip, especially given we wanted to pair it with bold flavors. So bold crunch, bold flavor go great together. So we knew we wanted kettle, but we really wanted a thin cut kettle. So it was very snackable. It's delicious.
All right. So now on that note, I feel like you say it's delicious, it's snackable. I think the only thing to do now is to taste them.
We got to do it, Jacoby. We got to do it, Jacoby. Let's do it.
I'm trying the Chicago hot dog flavor, local style potato chips. I'm definitely getting that like dill pickle smell for sure. Oh man. I like that. I taste the pickle, the celery salt. I feel like I can get like mustard seed, the celery salt for sure. But also the aftertaste is like hot dog. Like there's no other way to say it. The aftertaste is a hot dog.
Hand them over real quick. Let me see some. It tastes like a hot dog.
No.
Were you a food scientist before this?
No, that's what was so wild about this business. I mean, I had this idea, I had this dream of all of Chicago's famous foods on a potato chip, but I've never started a business before. I'm not a chef. So I really had to pull in experts around me. So we had some flavor experts who really, I mean, they're wizards.
If you like salt and vinegar chips with a hint of pickle and hot dog,
you'll like these.
We've told the story in different episodes of the Italian beef, the hot dog, deep dish pizza. For you personally, like what do these foods represent in your household, your relationship to the city?
Yeah, so we are a pizza family. So like, no shame. Every single week, we're ordering Lou Malnati's. Like, we're getting that Friday night pie. And pizza is, for me, and Chicago pizza and deep dish pizza, it fits that like last meal category for me, like that good. Like, crave it, want it, like could eat it for every meal, but like once a week. When I think about the hot dog flavor, I get kind of flooded with like these Chicago memories, mostly at Wrigley. Like I think of the night the Cubs won the World Series, and I don't know, were you there by chance? It was was insane. Like I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. The streets were just shoulder to shoulder. With
it was my older brother's birthday.
Oh, what a great birthday. I mean, shoulder to shoulder with people. Watching the people look like a river moving. Like the people were just so close together. It was so packed. People were climbing telephone poles, popping champagne, and we were all like crying because of this moment of the city coming together. And that's what a Chicago style hot dog tastes like to me. Like I had one that night. I have one every time I go watch a baseball game at Wrigley. And it just brings those emotions of like rooting for our hometown and our sports teams, and all of it like comes flooding in. So, so hot dog's really important. And then Italian beef, I would say Italian beef is like a newer love for Chicago food in my life, but it also delicious and love it.
All right, so I want to name a couple qualities. I want you to think if they apply to you, and just maybe I might got your next career move. Ready? I bet. Do you have a passion for people? You're excited to help others and you got great customer service skills. Do you crave flexibility, right? You want to be in charge of your own schedule and chart your own course. Do you got that hustle in you, right? Are you ready to turn that drive into something meaningful? All right, if you answer yes, then hey, real estate might be your next big move. Realtors help people make one of the biggest decisions of their lives, buying or selling a home, and no 2 days are the same. It's a chance to grow a business, make an impact, and build the lifestyle you're working towards. Visit realtorsrealestateschool.com to set up a free career consultation. We got a couple months of summer left, but before we know it, them cold and windy days will be upon us. Can your windows hold up against yet another Chicago fall and winter? Replace your older builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. They offer a lifetime warranty on all their windows, so you can rest assured knowing your home is protected. And their installation crews have installed over 3 million homes and do the job in 1 day or less. This month, get 50% off of all window styles, over 1,500 to choose from. Put zero down, make zero payments, and pay zero interest for 2 years. That's right, you can pay nothing until 2027. Hurry up because this sale ends soon. Don't miss out. This is Window Nation's most popular deal. Schedule a fast, free estimate now with Window Nation. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Got any fun trips coming up? One thing you probably haven't put on your packing list is learning the language. But with Babbel, you can start talking in just a few weeks. I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel. And I also just persuaded my friend who's going to France this fall to learn French with Babbel, but that is another story. Babbel's extremely fun and intuitive. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket. Handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel's lessons are voiced by real native speakers and built with science-backed cognitive tools and interactive features to fit any learning style. I love a lot of the different Babbel features. The Babbel games for sentence building, Babbel speech recognition, which helps me get the pronunciation right. And now I'm really into Babbel's word of the day, which greets me on the homepage of the app. Every day, a new word revealed like a little surprise with a sentence to help contextualize it. It's like a daily treat for me. Studies from Yale, Michigan State, and other leading universities continue to prove that Babbel works. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Look, I want you to learn another language. So I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Babbel.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Are you guys ready to taste the next flavor?
Yes. Anybody want to pick which one we jump into next?
Let's do Italian beef. I love Italian beef.
I know you
That's
do.
my favorite Chicago food.
Giardiniera, sweet and spicy. All right, so if we're saying that's like a salt and vinegar, dill pickle sort of comparable, what would you say the Italian beef is comparable to?
This is savory. So I really don't think it's comparable to anything. I think it's in a class of its own, honestly.
Getting like hot barbecue notes.
Okay.
Like a mesquite.
It's gonna have deep savory notes like that. But it's Italian beef, man. It's different. You know how Giardinera has that awesome like vinegary tang? Like you're going to get that note at the end in this one. It's going to give you like a little bit of a bright tang at the finish. And so we wanted to mirror that here. We also have a hot jarred flavor that's launching soon. So that will be its own true definition of Giardinera on a potato chip, but you definitely get a little bit of the dusting on the beef.
What's the coolest moment, coolest person, or the group of people who you've seen eating your chips that you never imagined seeing your bag of potato chips in their hands?
Well, there's been a lot of pinch me moments in this journey. I had my like dream list of delis and markets that I wanted to sell into. It was very like just door to door pounding the pavement. I would walk into my favorite delis like JP Graziano's and Mr. Beef and Public and Quality Meats and Beatrix Market and Goddess and the Grocer, Sunnyside Dispensary, places like that. There was a lot of that like fear of approaching a stranger and like, you know, fear of like putting your idea out into the world for someone to react to. This is such a story of Chicago showing up to help people. So I mentioned I'm just cold calling these places. I'm walking in during operating hours, asking for the manager, showing them my chips, and having a conversation. And I walked into Mr. Beef. And it's such a vibe in there. I'm sure you guys have been, but I walk into Mr. Beef and I'm like,
they fly now. They styling now.
Yeah, you can't get in. But this time they were open, and I just got lucky. The owner happened to be there. And so Chris, shout out to Chris if you're listening. So Chris called out all his guys from the back, and he ripped open the bag and he called out his crew and had everyone taste them. And he was like, they're delicious too. And so we had a nice chat. We covered a lot of different ground, where I grew up, where he grew up, why I made these, my background. I got laid off, shared that story with him. You know, we went around and he was like, okay, I can't make any promises. He's like, but I know the right people. Let me see if I can introduce these chips to some of the people in my world. And I was completely humbled and had no expectation. And I never would have asked him for that. But the fact that he offered this and he offered to help me, like it just meant so much. Because when you're starting out, like you need that. You need like someone to just reach out a hand. And he did it. And so through Chris's connections, I got a phone call from Craft Services at the Bear. And they ended up being my very first paying customer. This was my sample run of chips. So I was actually like kind of freaking out because I'm a perfectionist and I wanted like the best version of the chip in the hands of the cast and crew of the Bear. Like, you know, there's a lot of chefs around there. I wanted our very, very best product, but they were willing to like be part of the journey. And they're like, no, we just like give us what you've got. When it's better, come back again. And so we were part of the snack table. And so I was so honored. I mean, I love this show. Like this is a show that I just like, I absolutely love. I've watched every season, and the idea that like they're eating a product that I made was one of the most like humbling, amazing, like freak out experiences that I've like ever had. So that's how that happened. And it's just like Chicago showing up, and I cannot wait to pay it forward. I don't know who's going to come into my orbit, but I'm going to remember this experience and know that like, I'm going to help someone out when I can.
I do want to give the credit to you both because Chicago shows up, and I think Chicago particularly shows up for people who are hustling, people who are trying to put something out into the world, whether it's a small little storefront show or like an amazing snack at some of their favorite grocers and delis. And so congratulations to y'all on sort of persevering through. We're going to jump back into the love letter by cracking open a pack of deep dish pizza flavored local style potato chips. It's the cheese, but you can really taste the crust. Yeah, you can taste the crust in there distinctly. It does feel like the marinara is like it's hinted in there, but that cheese and that butter crust really jump out on these.
This was one of the hardest ones to formulate because the balance of cheese to the San Marzano tomato and the bright sweet sauce with the matzah, with the sprinkle of parm, with the sprinkle of oregano, like getting all these flavors to work together and not have it tilt too cheesy or tilt too tomatoey was a really big culinary challenge. But I feel really proud of where we landed on this one.
A note of both the Mott's and the Parm, and a chip that most cheese chips don't even really taste like a specific kind of cheese. It's just sort of like cheese dust. But you can really get the notes of the specific cheese involved in a good deep dish, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Y'all really did y'all thing with these. I came ready to enjoy the chips, but I didn't really expect to get like the full body flavor in each of the packaging. Honestly, the flavoring of this sort of deep dish pizza on this chip captures like the best version of this better than some versions of a deep dish pizza in the city, which is not to say, because they're not all equal, right? Not every, like Chicago hot dog is more or less, a Chicago hot dog here is a Chicago hot dog there. There's definitely some differences. Some people add a little bit extra, but I think deep dish changes a little bit more, maybe even than a hot dog or an Italian beef from place to place. You know what I'm saying? And so I think you all have captured that in a way.
I mean, look, we had a responsibility to get it right. Like if we're going to show up, if we're going to put Chicago on the bag front and center and put our famous foods, we knew that we had to get it right. And at Local Style, like that our commitment's like 100% hustle, 100% heart. Like that's what we're bringing you, Chicago.
We're going to get into the classic salt, but I think because these are specific Chicago foods, I want to go around and get favorites. Michelle, did you have a favorite between deep dish, Italian beef, and hot dog?
They were all. Let me taste the Italian beef one more time.
My dog.
I'm not even a big fan of deep dish.
You are not.
And I got those notes at the mid sentence. I got the notes of the giardiniera in the Italian. I love Italian beef, and I love an Italian beef out of the 3 Chicago foods. But I would say that surprisingly, I'm in between the deep dish and the Italian beef. But I'm gonna go with deep dish.
My favorite was the hot dog. Italian beef and deep dish were neck and neck. I think deep dish, because of, like you said, the fact that the butter crust hit me first, I felt like I got the wave of flavoring that you get with the deep dish, sort of that crust touching your lips first, and then that like cheese and marinara sort of flowing over it. Italian beef, I really did like sort of sweet and savory notes on that. The fact that you can taste the giardiniera, that jus flavor. But hot dog was the one that I was ready to be like, you know what? I don't even know if I like you in the real world all that much. But the salt and vinegar.
Jacoby, you were skeptical about the hot dog.
I was 100% skeptical of the hot dog on there. And the aftertaste in this thing is great. So good. How are you sourcing your potato chips? Like, what's your relationship to the manufacturing process?
Yeah, so we're called Local Style. So we really wanted, as much as we possibly could, to keep everything as local as possible. So one really nice thing about the potatoes, I'm really proud to say that for the time that Illinois is not snow covered and ice covered, we are sourcing Illinois potatoes, which is great that right here in our own state, we can bring this product to life. But we're 100% USA, real and high quality potatoes. So that was very important to make sure we're starting out with like a great base to build on as we introduce all these flavors. We want this product to be something that every single Chicagoan can enjoy. We're not trying to like box anyone out price-wise. Like this is for the party. This is for the backyard barbecue. This is bringing everyone together. So we really don't want price to be a barrier. So a bag of our chips right now, you can find it anywhere between like $2.99 and $3.50.
So you already said hot jard is on the way, but what are some maybe other Chicago flavors that you're exploring, right? Is it the Jibarito or a pizza buff? What are some other things
I love that you brought up the Jibarito. You're actually the second person in the past 2 days that has suggested that flavor. So we actually haven't decided yet, like what the next flavors are going to be after Hot Jarred. I kind of want to like ask Chicago, ask you guys, like, what should we make? The social comments are amazing. There's a lot of love for Malort. And I'm like, is that a dare? Like Chicago, is that what you want? You want a Malort chip? Okay. Okay.
No, they're tricking you like they trick their friends. Old style chip. You know,
that's
a beer
fun.
flavored chip. I'd check that out.
That's fun.
I'd check that out.
Would you want it to be like hoppy, crispy IPA, or would you want it to be like smooth lager? Like, where are we?
I think more smooth lager.
Okay.
Malort is going to hear this and want the partnership anyway to get their
Hey,
flavor
Malort,
profile
if you
out
are
there.
listening, bring it on. Let's have some fun. Let's do something wild.
What are some of those places people can find it?
So we have the absolute dream team of retail partners to help get this brand off the ground. A total pinch me moment that all of my favorite delis and cafes are going to be carrying local style chips. So here's where you can find them, you guys, all over Chicago. Beatrix Market, Goddess and the Grocer, JP Graziano, Mr. Beef, Public and Quality Meats, Florial, JT's Genuine Sandwich Shop, Center for Order and Experimentation, Go Grocer on Diversey, Sunnyside in Wrigley and River North, North Buena Deli, Lucky Door up in Wrigley, the Vienna Beef Factory Store down by the Sox Stadium in Bridgeport, Four Seasons Hotel, Chicago, and Here Market. And of course, 24/7 on localstylechips.com.
That's a very good mix of like venues and vendors. 100%.
This is what Chicago does best. We do highbrow, we do lowbrow. And that's like, we thread it together, and it's really all about delicious food. It doesn't matter if you're fancy. It doesn't matter if you're inexpensive. Like, if it's good, it's good. It's a true honor to be on the shelves.
I know like the plan for like growing and moving, but is the goal to one day have them in like Jewels?
First, I love that you said Jules. You got to throw
no,
on the S.
No other way.
I mean, right now we're really focused on just like the neighborhood spots. And, you know, one day, like, we could be in Jewel, like we could be other places, but we've got 77 neighborhoods in Chicago, and I'd love to be in every one.
Again, huge thank you to the founder of Local Style Chips, Laura Gardner. Laura, thank you for making time for CityCast Chicago.
CityCast Chicago, love you guys. Thanks for having me.
Before we get out of here, please remember the favor I asked you at the very top. Head over to citycast.fm/survey and take our annual audience survey. One more thing before we close these doors. Some good news. 2 festivals I want to put on your radar. 1, the Chicago Humanities Fall Festival lineup is out now, and tickets go on sale tomorrow morning. They got 50 plus events across the city starting in September, and I want to hear from y'all. What is the tour? What is the neighborhood tour, the panel, the performance you're really excited about? Now, again, that don't start till September, even though tickets go on sale tomorrow. But a festival you can put on your calendar for this Sunday is the Chicago Mural Festival. It's taking place in the South Loop at Baseline, 11 a.m. through 10 p.m. A ton of great muralists out there, some amazing food. And so if you got time, pull up. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.
So each flavor, for the listener who can't see the bag, although hit us up on @localstylechips on social. You can see our bags there, our website, localstylechips.com. We have a character that really personifies the flavor and the hometown pride that Chicago has on every single bag.
They got some J's on too.
Oh, yeah.
I know that they got to give a nondescript, but I see what you got. I see y'all got some mics on.
Good observation, Jacoby. My lawyer promises me we're safe, but there was some inspiration happening there.
Yeah, I don't see nobody flying on it, but I see what you were doing.